Welcome back to Grammar Grade 12. I'm glad you're here. This is Unit 11, Lesson 78, and today we're looking at one of the most useful little marks in all of writing, the comma that follows an introductory element. You've seen it 1,000 times without naming it. That small pause right after a sentence's opening words before the real action begins. Once you learn when it belongs and when it doesn't, your sentences will read exactly the way you mean them to. Let's dig in. Before we start, here's the shape of the whole lesson. An introductory element is anything that opens a sentence before the main clause arrives. It might be a phrase, a participle, an infinitive, or even a single word. Most of the time, that opener needs a comma after it, a small pause that tells your reader, here's where the introduction ends and the real sentence begins. Sometimes the pause isn't needed, and now and then it's the only thing keeping a sentence clear. So keep this picture in mind: an introduction, a comma, and then the main clause begins. Let's start with the most common opener of all, the prepositional phrase. A phrase that begins with a word like after, in, by, or during. When the opening phrase is long, or when two or more phrases stack up at the front, you follow them with a comma. Listen. After a long day at the office, she finally rested. That opener is long, so the comma marks the handoff to the main clause, which follows right behind. But when a single short prepositional phrase opens the sentence, you usually need no comma at all. By noon, the fog had lifted. Short, clear, no pause required. So let the length and the number of phrases guide you. Next comes the participial phrase, and this one has a firm rule. An introductory participial phrase always takes a comma. A participle is a verb form used as an adjective. It usually ends in ed or ing, and a participial phrase built from it describes the subject of the sentence. Exhausted from the climb, they made camp. See how that opener describes they, the subject? It opens the sentence, so it takes a comma. Here's another. Racing against the clock, we finished early. Whenever a participial phrase opens your sentence, set it off with a comma, every single time. There are no exceptions to hunt for here. Now the infinitive phrase. An infinitive is the word to plus a verb. To win, to improve, to understand. When an infinitive phrase opens a sentence and acts as a modifier, telling us why or for what purpose, it takes a comma. To win the prize, you must enter. The opener tells us the purpose, and the main clause, you must enter, follows the comma right behind it. One more. To improve, you must practice daily. The infinitive opener modifies the whole sentence, so we mark its end with a comma before the main clause begins. There's a smaller group of openers worth knowing: single introductory words and mild interjections. Words like yes, no, well, meanwhile, and however often open a sentence, and when they do, a comma sets them apart from the clause that follows. Yes, the plan will work. Well, we can try again tomorrow. Meanwhile, the guests were waiting in the hall. Each of these opening words gets its own little pause, a comma, before the main sentence gets underway. It's a light touch, but it keeps the introduction from running straight into the clause. Finally, the most interesting case. Remember, a short opening phrase usually takes no comma, but there's an important exception. if leaving the comma out would let your reader run the opener straight into the next words and misread the sentence, you add the comma to keep things clear. Look at this. Below, the valley opened up. With the comma, below stands on its own, but drop that comma, below the valley, and for a split second, your reader takes below the valley as a single phrase, as if something lay beneath it. The comma prevents that misreading. So even a short opener earns a comma when clarity is on the line. Let clarity make the final call. Let's fold all of that into a quick check you can run on any sentence that starts with an introduction. 1. Does it open with a long prepositional phrase or two or more phrases stacked together? Add the comma. 2. Does it open with a participle or an infinitive phrase? Add the comma. 3. Does it open with a single word like yes or meanwhile? Add the comma. And 4. Is it a short phrase that could be misread without one? Add the comma there too. If none of these apply, if it's just a short, clear phrase like by noon or in spring, you can leave the comma out. Run those 4 questions and you'll place the comma with confidence. Let's practice. In this first set, I'll give you a sentence and ask whether it needs a comma after its opening element. Picture the pause before you decide. Pause the video and choose before I reveal each answer. Here's the first sentence. Exhausted from the long hike, we set up camp. Does it need a comma after hike or not? Exhausted from the long hike is a participial phrase opening the sentence, and an introductory participle always takes a comma. So we punctuate it this way, with the comma after hike. Number 2. In the middle of the crowded festival, we lost our friends. Comma or no comma? The sentence opens with 2 prepositional phrases stacked together, in the middle and of the crowded festival. A long stacked opener like that takes a comma. The right choice is the version with the comma after festival. Number 3. At dawn, the birds began to sing. Does this short opener need a comma? At dawn is a single short prepositional phrase, and the sentence reads clearly without any pause. There's no risk of misreading here, so we leave the comma out. Now the second set. These sentences bring in infinitives, opening words, and one sneaky short phrase that needs a comma to stay clear. Decide where the comma belongs, or whether it belongs at all. Pause and choose before I answer. Number 4. To finish on time, we skipped the last exhibit. Comma or not? To finish on time is an infinitive phrase, opening the sentence, and telling us the purpose. An introductory infinitive like that takes a comma, so the answer is the version with the comma after time. Number 5. Well, the results surprised everyone. Should there be a comma after well? Well is a mild interjection opening the sentence, and an introductory word like that is set off with a comma, so we write it with the comma right after well. Last one. Inside, the house was warm and bright. This opener is short, so you might expect no comma, but watch what happens without it. Inside the house. And your reader momentarily takes inside the house as a single phrase. The comma after inside prevents that misreading, so here the short opener does need one. Let's gather what we've learned about introductory elements. First, when a sentence opens with a long or stacked prepositional phrase, a participle, or an infinitive phrase, you follow that opener with a comma before the main clause. Second, A single introductory word, yes, well, meanwhile, is set off with a comma of its own. And third, a short opening phrase usually needs no comma at all, unless dropping it would let your reader misread the sentence. Then the comma steps in to keep things clear. The thread through all of it is simple. The comma marks where the introduction ends and the main clause begins. Next time, in Lesson 79, we'll take this further and look at commas with adverb clauses and antithetical phrases. I'll see you there.